Okay guys, now we can in this video we can see how we can how the IMS is interacting, COBOL is interacting with IMS and how it is getting data and what all the function calls are there and how the what are the things we should code to call the IMS DB from COBOL and if time is there we can also discuss about the SSA. Okay, so basically, okay, we'll go inside the topics now. So guys, how the COBOL um, gets, I mean, interact with IMS and get data. So basically, if it is your COBOL code, okay, it will interact to DLI function calls. Okay, in batch I'm saying, and then it will interact with. So this is how the hierarchy, the flow works. First, COBOL will connect through the DLI call. It will call the IMS, and IMS will pass the data through this DLI function call, and then it will put it in COBOL. So this DLI call is, it will be going through what, PSB. Okay, so PSB, whatever the PCB marks you are defined, it will get the data and will put the data there from IMS to COBOL. Okay, and whenever whenever you are issuing, in the COBOL, you should code like this line: entry um, DLI to COBOL using PCB mask. Okay, so this will tell like I'm using this DLI call to interact with COBOL for the IMS interaction. Okay, so this entry point is important. The same thing like the I mean uh, you can use multiple entry points for different purposes. Okay, so basically in order to interact with the DB, IMS DB, you should put an entry point saying like I'm interacting with IMS DB, telling like COBOL I'm interacting with the IMS DB. Okay, something like that. So whenever you are you are calling the IMS, you like the usual, you will be calling the subprograms, right? Consider it as the same thing. So the call will have call COBOL to DLI. Okay, using three things. Okay, function. Okay, let me change the font. So using DLI function and then DLI function. Okay, and then you should give your PCB mask. So that's how you can interact, right? You should give the PCB mask and then the IO area. Okay, IO area. Okay, so these three things are mandatory. Extra we can give one more thing while calling the IMS, that is nothing but SSI, segment search argument. Segment search argument, it is like similar to a where condition in DB2. See, in DB2 you will give a where condition, right, where this field is equal to, so it will fetch only that record from there. Consider it as similar to that where condition. It is not mandatory as in DB2 also, right? Whenever you are just, you can select it, we can insert it. It's not like we need to give a where. It's an optional. So here also it is optional. SSA is optional. Okay. So how this IO area? Okay, I had a doubt whenever I was coding the IMS DB. So how this IO area and the PCB masks will work? Okay. So uh, 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 for now, just ignore this DLI call. Okay. What it will do? It will call the COBOL to DLI. Just consider this call as I'm just getting some data. Okay. then it will go inside the PCB mask. Okay, this PCB mask would be, you would have given the PCB mask in the linkage section, right? So through linkage section, the it will define all the PCB mask. Okay, it will have PCB mask basically in the linkage section, and I told like the standard structure is same, only the key field will differ, right? Depending on the keys you have defined in the DB. So in the PCB mask, whenever you are getting, like it will go inside the DB, and the PCB mask will have the details. What is the segment it is interacting now? Okay, and what is the status code? Basically, these two things. I mean, status code is really important. The PCB mask will have. I mean, let me put it like. Oh God, I may. Okay. Okay, so it will have segment name. Okay, and status code, and then key value, and what type of call also. It will have the call name as well. The standard format is there. I already showed you guys. So what is the DLI call now? So those details will be transferred to IMS through this PCB mask only in the linkage section. And from the linkage section, it will link the PSP gen. I mean, IMS can interact through PSP gen only. Okay, so that's why the PSP gen is there. From this linkage section, it is goes into the PSP gen, and from PSP gen, it will interact with the DB, and then it will get the data, and then it will put the detailed data here, PCB mask, and the data is there, right? Basically, if you are like in the previous thing I explained about this patient and those things, right? See, consider it as a patient segment. Okay, sorry, not this, it is having patient segment, and the patient segment is having how many bytes? Totally, yeah, 45 bytes are there. So you should define the IO area accordingly. So in the working storage, okay, working storage, you should define the IO. I mean, uh, IO area. IO means input and output. See, IO area as X of. If you are not defining this properly, then it will truncate. If you are giving only 30 there, only 30 records will be written. I mean, bytes would be written in the IO area. See, that's how this IO area works. Okay, nothing that. So IO area will put. I mean, basically, it will interact with IMS through PCB mask, and in the IO area, it will put the record. If you are using the get call, okay. So there are different types of I mean different types of DLI function call. I will explain it. Get unique is there. Basically, you are getting the data from IMS. So it will put the data that if you are giving the patient as SSA, I mean patient segment. I will explain this SSA and all, but you should know the connection. That's why I'm saying, I'm stressing on this. Basically, I'm explaining it as way first. Okay, that's why. So through the PCB marks, it will interact, and in IO area, it will put the data if you are getting it. Okay, and you are getting only the patient segment. So if you are giving only 45 bytes, it is gonna get only 45 bytes. Okay, understood? Okay. So then, and if you are inserting some data, what it will do, it will take the data of this IO area, and it will interact with the IMS, and it will insert the data in the IMS. So before inserting, you need to give some uh, I mean, you should move the field to, if you are using a file, you should move that file data to this IO area. Okay, I mean IO area, and then if you are issuing on insert call, it is gonna put the data in the IMS. So that's the only thing. Okay, so this four fields are pretty much important, but three are optional. Three are mandatory, and only one is optional. Okay, but most of the cases you will use SSA. That's how it will be better in interaction. Okay, let talk about the, so you know how it is interacting, right? Let me talk about some functional calls. Okay, so there are few functional calls are there. Get unique. Okay, and this functional calls, it will be of like 4 bytes, okay, in the PCB mask. So get unique is there, get next is there, get next parent is there, and insert is there, delete is there, replace is there, get old unique is there, get old next is there. Okay, so totally 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 function calls are there. Let me talk about get unique. Okay, so get unique is nothing but you are getting the data, and the pointer will be placed in the very first search. See, this is the functional call. Okay, guys, so like you know how the hierarchy works. Okay, I already explained this treatment segment, we can delete. I explained it because this I'm not giving in my what in my coding example, that's why I'm deleting this segment. So as you see, this patient is there, illness is there, treatment is there, right? These are all segments. Okay, and it will have datas. Okay, and so yeah, so patient is there, right? If you are using a unique call, and SSA I will explain later, but if you are using a unique call, the first pointer will be pointed in the patient one. I mean patient segment first record. Okay, uh, let us consider as F1. Okay, and in the loop, if you are again pointing the pointer, I mean again if you are going inside the unique segment, it is gonna place it in the same F1 only, because that's the use of like it won't go in a sequential way. Okay, so get unique, it's like place this particular segment here, and again if you are using get unique, it is gonna start from the start only. See, in some cases, like uh, F1 is there, right? F1 would be the first, and I1, I mean illness I1 I'm taking, treatment T1, B1, P1, and H1. Okay, if I'm issuing a GU call, get unique call, okay, in a loop, this get unique call gonna place the pointer at the first segment always. Okay, it will point the pointer in the F1 only. So again, if you are in the second call as well, if you are just using the GU, it is gonna place the pointer in the F1. That's the use of like get the unique data. Mostly GU would be used for getting the unique data with the help of key and putting that in a file. Okay, so that's the thing how the GU works. GN is like get next. Okay, if you are putting a get next function and you are putting it in a loop first, and if you are writing it in a file without SSA, what it will happen, like first it will get the patient segment data F1, and then the pointer will be placed in the next segment first record illness I1, and the pointer will be, I mean in a sequential way, however you insert it, you will get the data, and the next you will get the T1. Okay, and then B, and then the pointer will be placed in the B1, and then P1, and then H1. Okay guys, so and once after that it will throw GBS status code, that means end of database, we can close the loop. So that's the difference between GU and GN. Okay, understood? Okay, fine. And then there is a GNP call. GNP, it means get next within the parent. Okay, suppose take like, okay, uh, parent, if I'm issuing a see, before issuing see, you should set the parentage. See this parentage, if you are issuing GU call, whichever the first segment is there, it will set the parentage there. So the parentage would be in the level 1 whenever there is a GU call, but whenever there is a GN call, the parentage will be like first it will be in F1, and then it will move sequentially, right? It will move to the next level, and that's the parentage would be I1. Okay, this this GNP, you can issue a GNP before. If you are issuing a GNP, you should issue either GU or GN call. Okay, so before issuing GNP, you should issue GN or GU to set the parentage at one level. Okay, see if I'm issuing a GU here, okay, patient, and I'm putting a call like GNP, okay, call COBOL to DLI, okay, using GNP. I have issued the GN first, okay, and I have put the parentage in patient. And if I'm using a GNP, what it will do? It will fetch from I1 because it will fetch all the dependents of F1. I mean patient basically. So it will fetch illness segment first, and then treatment segment, and then billing segment, and then payment segment, and then household segment. Okay, I'm setting the parent there. So if I'm issuing a GNP without any SSA, it will start fetching its dependent segments and in the hierarchical manner. So if I'm setting the parentage in illness one, okay, GN in I1, okay, I mean illness segment. And next, if you are issuing GNP call, what is gonna fetch? It is gonna fetch only the treatment T1, okay, because it is this parent. I mean illness is having only one child, and it is considered here we have set the parentage, and it will fetch only the dependent data. So it would be treatment. Okay. So that's the thing in the GNP. See, GNP when it will be helpful, it's like if it is having if the parent is having like 3 to 4 childs, you no need to fetch one by one, right? By giving all the segments one by one, yeah, and 3 times. You can just set a parentage for that particular parent, and you can fetch it all the dependent segments. So that time this GNP would be way much useful. Suppose like take this patient itself. It see if patient is there, if I need to fetch illness, billing, and household in one go, what I can do? Uh, like I can set the parentage in F1, and in the PSP, see you are declaring the PSP, right? In the PSP, I will give only the this in PSB. Under PCB, I will give only these 3 segments. Okay, I won't include treatment and payment segment. So what it can access only these 3 segments if that's the case, right? Because you are not giving the treatment and payment there. And if I'm issuing this GNP call, it is gonna take all the illness, billing, and household in one go. Okay, so that time this GNP would be very useful. So that's the thing. Yeah. See, there's a way to do that easily, right? We can just ignore, depending on our case, we can ignore these 2 segments in PSB, and it is gonna fetch only these corresponding segments, right? So that's the thing in GNP. And next is insert. Insert, as the name says, it is gonna insert the data. That's it. Insert the data from IO to from IO area to IMS DB. Okay. So that's the type insert. And delete. Okay, delete, guys. Okay, delete and replace. Okay, in delete and replace, uh, you should hold the data first. Okay, okay, so let me go first in the holding. See, GU both are same. Okay, what is the difference is like GHNP is there. One more thing, GHNP is also there, but mostly we won't use that. But GU and GN, GHU and GHN gonna do the same thing as GU and GN. Only thing it will hold the segment. Remaining things won't hold the segment. See, if you are issuing a GHU in illness segment, it is gonna hold that segment. Okay, and GHN also is gonna hold the segment. See, before you are issuing delete and replace call, you should hold that segment, and then only we can delete or replace it. Okay, And you guys can ask like how if I'm holding it, how it will be released. See, in the very next, if you are after holding this call and after deleting that, if you are issuing some other call like GU, GNP, I mean GN, it is gonna release the hold. That's how the release hold will work in IMS DB. Okay. So in the delete and replace, you should hold it first. So first you should issue GHU call and then only you can issue delete call. If you are not doing that, what will happen? You will get a status. See, if you are not holding the DB and you are trying for a delete, you will get a status code as DJ. Okay, which is nothing but you are not holding the DB. It is not locked at how you can delete it or replace. So that's the thing between delete and replace. And as in vsam, key field you can't replace. Okay, key field you can replace, only you can insert. I mean, if you are trying to replace a key field, you can't do that in IMS. Okay, and while deleting, see, SSA one concept is there, uh, but anyway, I will just let know. See, while deleting, you may think like, okay, other than the key field, if you are giving and you are deleting, like I have, see, in the parent segment, I have two fields, right? One is hospital ID and hospital name, right? So if I'm giving hospital ID is a key field and unique for me. Okay, key field unique, right? I mean, in there we will give what sequence comma you. So this hospital ID is unique sequence and unique, but I'm giving the hospital name equal to Apollo or something. I mean, in the delete call, okay, DLT, delete whatever things PCB mask you should give, okay, and then IO area is not needed for delete, but anyway, that's mandatory actually. And I'm giving a SSA saying like hospital name equal to Apollo. Will it work? Because my key field is, I mean, my key field is hospital ID, but I'm giving hospital name equal to Apollo. Will it delete the data? It will delete the data. Okay. Because it is like the same as I told in the earlier videos, it is like the same what where condition. So in the where, it's not like primary key. If I give only the primary key, it is gonna delete in DB2. I can give some other field and I gonna delete, right? So that same thing will apply here. It's not like you need to give the key field. Even for search, it's not like I need to give the key field. I can give the search with the other fields. Okay, this SSA is nothing but search only. Okay, so these are all the, I mean, function calls. Okay, they will call it as functional calls, which is nothing but get unique, get next, GNP, insert, and these are the calls. Okay, function calls. Okay, and then this thing SSA. SSA is nothing but segment search argument, which is an optional field here. But most of the cases you will use SSA, so it's really important. Segment search argument. Okay, so SSA, what this SSA does. Okay, so here we had this patient is there, illness is there, right? And treatment is there, billing is there, payment, household, everything is there. If you are issuing an SSA in treatment, right, it will set the parentage in the treatment segment. See, if I'm, and it should be in a, I mean, few will say it needs to be in hierarchical, but most of the case it worked like it's not like we should go one by one from patient and then illness and we should give all this SSA. We can directly give treatment SSA, okay, and we can set the parentage there. So SSA, what it will have, SSA structure is like it will have the segment name, okay, segment name, I mean SSA structure. Okay, structure is like it will have segment name plus command code, and then I will explain what is command code, and then I mean field name and its values. Okay, so I mean we should put it in bracket where field name something we used to give, right? Field name equal to. So SSA structure would be, I mean if we take it as a copy book, okay, so this is the structure. See, it may have command code or not, okay, but I'm giving the overall structure here. So 05 segment name first, it should have x of 08, okay, and then filler, ninth byte should be a filler, okay, and then the command code of 2 bytes, x of 02, okay. I'm not writing pic here, but anyway, you guys got the idea, right? So, okay, let me put a picture plus, okay, and it should have a command codes of this thing, and the field name should be 8 bytes, okay, and it's correspond, I mean one more thing, this bracket should become, okay, filler 1 pick x of value should be open thing, and then field name, and then this equal to, wait a second, I should not give wrong things. Let me see the structure properly. I mean I haven't coded the structure. So 3.4 is a day 101 Adaraj dot IMS. Let me see the structure. Okay, guys, where is it? Okay, COBOL. So I haven't coded the structure, but this should be it. Okay, one space, and then okay, it should be 8 bytes, I guess. Okay, 8 bytes, and then relational operator. This is correct only. I mean here I'm not using this command code. Okay, that's why I have given it as like this. If you are not using command code, you can just take out this command code thing. Okay, I mean and then go with the remaining ones, and relational operator should be x of 0 to, okay, and then uh, the field value, so it should be anything like depending on your data, n plus c 1 plus n, anything like how much data, and then you should close it, right? So this field, it will come again, this filler thing. So this is the structure. Okay, structure is important. So this is the structure, guys. Okay, uh, it's the field thing. Okay, and so yeah, so what this SSA does basically. So SSA, see, if you are giving call COBOL to DLI, and then one get next, okay, and then what PCB mask, I mean I can give it here itself, PC mask, sorry, IO area, and then I'm giving some SSA, right? So if I'm giving the patient SSA, means I'm giving the value as patient. Let us take some illness SSA. Okay, illness SSA. Hmm. So I'm giving the segment name as illness here. What will happen? And I'm giving this GN call. I'm performing it till status code is equal to GB. Okay. So till the end of database, it will go inside again and again until it is GB. So what is this? So since I have given the SSA as illness, see, go inside the thing. So it will take only the illness segment data. It won't move to treatment. No, no, no. Okay, it will take only the illness data. Hmm? Understood, guys? And if I'm giving the SSA segment as treatment, it is gonna take only the treatment data. So that's the use. If you need any specific data in IO area and your what is the illness byte of bytes? What is the illness? Okay, here it is. It's only 18 bytes are there, right? So your IO area should be 18 and it will write all the illness record whenever you are issuing an illness segment SSA. So that's the use. Actually, I have given the whole thing, but see, there are two types of SSA. Okay, there are before that you should know what is qualified call and unqualified call. Okay, there are two types of call in COBOL IMS. Qualified call is nothing but if you are having any SSA, if you are having SSA means it's a qualified call. Okay, if in your call you are having an SSA means it's a qualified call. If you are not having any SSA, it is called unqualified call. So that's the difference between qualified and unqualified SSA. Sorry, not SSA, call. So there is in SSA, under SSA there are two. One is qualified SSA and unqualified SSA. Okay, let me tell you what is qualified SSA. See, I gave you the structure, right? So till here it is known as unqualified SSA. Okay, so unqualified SSA, what will have this command code, I will explain it later because it's not mandatory to have. Okay, so this is the unqualified SSA. So if you are giving only the segment name and you are not giving any field search, I mean field value there, that means it's a unqualified SSA. Okay, here what it will do, it will fetch only the illness segment, all the illness segment data, not the treatment, only the illness segment data it will fetch. Okay, understood, guys? And what is qualified SSA? If you are giving any value, I mean searching with any value, this is known as qualified SSA. The below structure is the qualified SSA. Okay, qualified SSA. Let me remove this command code for now, but it is important. But for now, I will remove. So this is the, so what you are doing, I'm getting the data from illness segment, and if illness is having what any field name, ill date is there, right? And if I'm giving ill date equal to some dates, today's date, 30/08/2025. Okay, if this particular, and I'm issuing some GU call. Okay, GU PCB IO area, just call it call COBOL to DLI using. Okay, so that's the thing. So illness, I'm giving the date here, right? It will check in the GU call, it will check whether inside illness this ill date equal to this field is there or not. If it is there, it is gonna put it in IO area, else it is gonna say like G, segment not found. Okay, so this is the difference between qualified and unqualified SSA. Okay, okay. Before, I mean, for command code, I will prepare a different video. For now, we can check like how this things work. Okay, let me go inside some logics. So first we need to load the DB, right? Basically. So first we'll go with the insert call. So whatever I have explained today, okay, we'll check some functional calls. Okay, function calls. So let us open TSO. Okay, so first I have a load. See, whichever I showed, I have that DB's load. Okay, um, these are all the things. This is my structure. You can see it in my previous video. What is the structure and everything. And right now, if we check, this would be empty. Okay, uh, we will check that. So if we check, I mean, in the previous video, I just created that, so that's why it is empty. The KSDS datasets. Okay, and for PCB, I'm going with the initial insert, right? Let me put it the processing option as I, and I will try to insert, okay, the data. I think I have load and only, yeah, I think the load is already there. And if for safer side, let me compile it again, and load can have the processing option as I, okay, because you guys need to know what is the difference between the load processing option L and I. Okay, that's why I'm, even though it is gonna throw the error, I'm gonna run it. So PCB gen. So you guys, okay. Now let me go inside some logics. Any logics? Load data is there. Okay, let me show you my load. Hmm. So this is the hierarchical thing. I'm gonna insert the data in the DB. So I mean, this would be my SSA. Let me show it like this. It would be easier for you guys. I had one load program. Let me check whether it is still there or not. 3.4. I must start. Okay. COBOL. And if you are getting any status code as, I mean, AK, AJ, something is wrong with your PSB, sorry. Okay, PSB or something is wrong between the structure of PSB and COBOL. You will get a lot whenever you are doing the initial load. That's why I'm saying. That means something is not, I mean, this it needs to connect. Basically, the COBOL needs to connect with DB, right? And it will go through PSP. So if you are not defining PSP properly, it is gonna throw the error. Okay. 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 I have read. Load program is here. So in the load, what I'm doing, I'm using an in file. Using this, I will give the DD name there in my JCL. Then I will run it. Okay. So I'm just gonna insert, simple insert only. Okay. This is the function call. So this is my PCB mask. Okay. And in the PSP, I have defined each and every structure of the database, since I need to insert all the what all the data in the specific segment. I have given the PCB mask as such, and the key would be, since my key is 21, in my previous video I would have explained what is why I am giving it 21. And this structure, other than the key field, this structure is same for all the PCB mask. So it will have the DBD name, segment ID. Segment ID is nothing but the level. It will show like 0102. I told you, right? Level. So the root segment is on level 1, and its status code, processing, what type of processing option you are using, what is the current segment it is using, and what is the feedback, and number of sensitive segments. Okay, so these are the details you will get from a PCB. This is predefined, guys. Only you need to give, I mean, give it based on your coding. You should give the key feedback area will be different. Okay, so what I'm doing, like I'm just reading that file, and see, this is how the call. Yeah. So you should put this line, entry DLI to COBOL, saying like GMS IMS is used, and the compiler is okay. So this read is there, right? Read, and I'm using the call. I'm using the function as ISRT and PCB mask and my segment IO area and SSA. So this SSA, how I have defined is like, see here, what I'm doing, I'm reading that record into IO buffer, right? So the first 8 byte of the IO buffer would be my SSA, right? And the next would be my IO area. Understand, right? So I'm moving everything into this IO buffer. Okay, my first 8 byte. That's why my first 8 byte would be SSA, and it will start loading from the 9th byte. Okay. Wait a second. Is my input wrong? Just a minute, guys. Okay. Okay. So first 10 byte, and from the 11th byte it will start inserting, because that's the IO area I have defined, right? So my logic will take the both the segment name and here it from here, and depending on the SSA it is gonna load it, and I'm using the processing option as I, right? So that's the thing I'm doing. So it's the same compilation, no? IJY CRCTL only, because it is an internal DB. That's why, like DB2, we no need to code in exact executable, those things and all. Okay, it will take it automatically. Uh, Load PGM. But if your connection is not proper with the PSB and your linkage and your position division using, then it is gonna throw the error. Okay. Okay, let me compile it. The compiler is same only. Okay. IAJ JVC, I mean COBOL compiler only. It is not like in DB2 it is gonna go with the pre-compilation and nothing like that is there. Okay, so I'm gonna change the load program. I have everything predefined. Okay. So I'm gonna submit it. Okay, if you guys will have what is the compiler, but let me show you that as well. So max is 0 I got, so compilation is fine. Okay. So that is it. IMS COBOL. IMS COBOL only, right? Yes, IMS COBOL. See, it's the same compiler only. Okay, there is no pre-compilation, those things and all here. It is, since it is considered as a COBOL codes. That's why. Okay, no pre-compilation, nothing would be there. Okay, so compilation is fine. Now I'm trying to load. So let us see the JCLs. Where is it? Okay, this is the run JCL. So see, this is the DLI batch. If you see inside this DLI batch, okay, I meant to explain about DLI and all. Okay, so DLI just consider it as a batch. Okay, So there are three types of processing, guys. One is DLI and BMP, DLI, BMP, and then MPP. So this DLI is mostly on the batch part. Okay, BMP, it is like you can use it during online as well as on batch as well. Okay, even though your data is in up mode, using BMP you can still get the data, load the data. Okay, but in DLI it should be down. The database should be down. Otherwise it won't allow the operation. In MBP it is fully of online. Okay, it's IMS DC concept. I don't know, so my tutorials won't. I mean, you won't get IMS DC concepts in my recordings. Okay, because I basically I don't know how that works. So that's the thing, guys. So in DLI, the DB should be down, and a DB like start DB and its particular IMS DB name, it will start the DB, and for downing it, some command is there. So I mean access equal to down something they used to give. That means it will down the DB and you can load it during the batch. And once your load is and everything is done, I mean get also we can do basically anything we can do in DLI. Uh, so once your loading and retrieving is done, you can make it up. And in BM key, you can do the further operations. So during online, so during BMP, even though it is in online, you can get the data, and it is BMP is also used during IMS DC basically. Okay, mostly you would see DLI BMP in your IMS the mode. So the mode thing, like let me show it. DLI batch, right? So this is how this is the utility DFSRR region, and in the PALM parameter you will pass like DLI or BMP and the COBOL member and its particular corresponding PSB. These three things are important. Okay, if I mean only these three is needs to be there. If I am ignoring the other things, that is also fine because they have given the default things here. Okay, just these three things is more than enough to run a IMS COP DB2 program in batch, not in online. Okay. Um, so yeah, so this is the structure, and if you see our JCL, it is passing data there. Basically, it is saying the PSB is this one, and then okay, in file, I need to give right. Yes. So this is the in file. There we have defined the DD, and in the DB degen we have defined the DD names, right? So these would be the DD names. Where is it? So for overflow, I mean for this PNTD HIS and overflow PNT overflow. So we should give it here, and in the IMS part you should give your PSB and DBD lib. Okay, and your COBOL thing, the usual COBOL load lib and everything, and you should give one more log should be there. Where's the log? Because that is also important, otherwise it won't run. Here. Okay, this is the log file. So now we will run it. Okay, so everything is done. Anyway, it is gonna throw error because I'm using processing option different thing. Okay, see it throwed S722. If you check this, so why it throwed S722? Yes, the processing option should be different. See, it is getting some other call GNP. It is getting GNP call. And see, this is the I'm displaying the PCB mask and its corresponding segment area name, and segment area, the IO area. Okay, okay. But I'm not giving this GNP call, right? Wait a second, let us check. Am I okay? I'm giving some other programs. So I was coding that program. Okay, that's why. Okay, it got loaded. It should. I mean, Let us see the status code. See, you will get max is 0 most of the times for IMS DB, but on the status code, it's only we can see the difference. Okay, so let us see the status code. I have displayed the PCB mask and everything, so it should show. Again, something is there. I mean, it should show the entire program basically. Okay, why only cough is there? I think someone has manipulated. Okay. So okay. I need to give. Okay. Now let me submit it. Sorry guys. I did lot of hands-on. That's why. Okay. So you will get max is 0. It does not mean it got inserted. Okay. Because IMS DB is mainly based on status code. So okay. What it showed. Basically, it is reading, and I didn't give the status code. Okay, need to put displays. So anyway, we can view the KSDS. If it is C, no load is there, right? KSDS is not loaded any data. That is because see, I can put some display and show it to guys. Okay, let me do that as well. I do. Where is the COBOL thing? Okay, okay. Where's load? So because you guys should know only segment area I'm displaying. Okay, so let me display the PCB mask so that you can know what is the status code we are getting. Okay. Mm, okay. Where's the load? JSLib and compile our DB COBOL, then run it. Member in user. Okay, now run it. So I think we will get some A J something because of our processing option. Okay, so even though it is throwing 0, it does not mean it got loaded, right? Uh, uh, okay. Uh, okay. I mean, I didn't take it. Why it's not showing PCB mask? I have compiled it, right? compile the load program only, right? Compiler load only. Okay, I didn't get the latest one. That's why. Sorry, guys. Not this one. Okay. Now it's, see, I told you, right? Since we have, we see, even though we are giving insert as processing option, it's an empty data set. That's why it is throwing a. This A is the status code. So this A is the status code. Okay, guys. So A means basically it's some wrong with the processing option. So now we'll do what? We'll change the processing option and we'll compile the PSB again and we'll check whether it is loading fine or not. So PSB, give it as L, or you can give it as LS as well. LS is nothing but sequential thing. And sequentially do the what? Uh, do the load. Okay. So that's the thing. See, after inserting, if you are giving LS, again it will throw. I mean, if data is there and you are giving LS, again it will throw that A error. Okay. And this A error basically, whenever this A error comes, some that connection thing only. Okay, between the COBOL and the COBOL and the PSP. So correct your PSP accordingly, and then go ahead with the load. So now I have corrected my PSP, right? So if I am trying the load, where is it? If I'm now it will throw. So in IMS DB, space status code spaces means it is successful. Okay. So if you check that, see now. Now it is spaces. The status code is spaces. Processing option is LS. Okay. So now if you check your KSDS file, in whatever file we have given, it will have data for sure. Let me show you that. So it will have totally how many root segment we have. Uh, how many root segment we have. Find all. So patient is our root segment, right? Okay, so it should have 5 lines if our insert is proper. So as I told, there are 5 lines are there. So this is the root segment, and then its corresponding illness or something. So data are there. So I have explained about the DLI function and everything. Okay, and in the next video I will explain about the GU, those calls. We can go through those calls and then the command codes. Okay, okay guys, thanks everyone. Bye.